All right, we got the grass flap. We're gonna be putting it on this 72-inch Scag Cheetah. I'm gonna get the parts all laid out where they go, and then we'll go from there. All right, so first, this plate is going to mount in between these posts right here. And for that, I'm gonna use the hex bolts and the locking nuts. That's then gonna go on top of that. We'll show you that in a little bit. I got the foot plate just sitting there. We're gonna have to find a spot for that to go. Could go maybe like that. Could probably get it in there too if we want it too far left. This is an older model, so it doesn't have the foot brake. It's got the hand brake. So we could go way left with it, but we'll see. All right, we're gonna put this plate on. These are 1/2 inch. Nice and snug. Next part is the actual grass flap itself. You got 2 holes here, and you got carriage bolts. They're gonna go up like that. Get those started. And you're gonna, there's a little bit of clay in there. So you want to get it aligned so it's covering. There's also different holes in here, so if it doesn't line up like that to block your whole chute, then you can undo those and move the plate back and forth to find the perfect spot for it. This looks pretty good here. Almost snug. We'll leave a little bit of room. Just air. Wiggle room. Get it exactly where we want it. Good right there. Crank that down. Nice and snug. Locking the whole chute there. All right, this plate, it's got these serrations on there so you can kind of bend it. I actually bent it out a little bit so I could get this to overlap this lip a little bit more, because it was kind of just a little too rounded that it was hitting against here. It was kind of keeping it too far pushed out. So I bent that, was then able to move this back a little bit. So that's on there pretty good. It's blocking that chute pretty nice. Next step is taking this out, moving this up, and then that bolt goes right in through here. Got that pretty snug. If I have to move it, I can. So next step is installing the cable onto the flap. You're going to use the end that has the fixed clevis on there, and you want to pull the rubber boot off. You want to unscrew that, and then the directions actually say when you stick it through that hole right there, when you put it back on, you want minimal threads showing. So we're gonna screw that back on to like there maybe, and then we'll screw this one back up to tighten it. Put that rubber boot back on. That looks pretty good there. I'll grab another wrench and I'll tighten that up from both ends. All right, installing the pedal. So we're gonna go right here, try to keep it pretty far left. On there, that's good. Now routing the... Okay, we're gonna route this cable. Let's actually go like that. Feed that to me? Yeah. So, I don't really like this. Let's pull it back and go on the other side of the chain, because when this drops down, this is going to be like that chain's going to move forward. If we route it right back here. Go behind the chain. Yeah. We'll have the magnet with the zip ties to keep it lifted off the deck. Right.
I'm thinking even like right here, because we also don't want it to interfere with that spring.
Just for this,
But if we do it
remove
right here to this inner one, the bottom of it,
yeah. We remove the boot end off of here. I'm gonna take that off. Feed that. Like so. So
so where it's positioned, this cable isn't going to go straight the way we want it to. So we're going to shift the pedal over to the left. Okay, we got the pedal mounted to those left two holes there so that this cable can be straight where it comes down right there. Okay, had to reattach that rubber boot. Notice the ball on the end of that.
now we're putting the removable clevis on. Use this guy.
Pin that locks those together.
Cotter pin.
That's good. Okay. So that is now moving the cable. Now we come over to this end and we do the same thing. Our boot is in place there. We've got this on the cable. And these holes here are going to go over this with a pin connecting them.
First we want to attach the flap spring.
And you don't want to pinch your fingers while doing this.
Don't want to pinch your fingers.
Lift that up. Yeah.
So close. There it is. Put that down.
Ooh, I notice an issue here. That spring is rubbing on that bolt.
Mine does that. The next part is
there's the little sleeve that goes inside there.
Yep.
It's like a little bearing bushing.
And then the pin goes through.
So we gotta add some zip ties to keep this cable secure.
We can snip that off after.
So right there, this way that cable comes and stays straight, coming off the foot pedal. We'll add a couple more zip ties where the cable routes underneath.
So they give you this, which is nice. That is a magnet. So what we'll do is we'll put it underneath.
And it's got a little loop for a zip tie to run through.
Purpose of that is to
So
keep
right now this cable is running down, it's running next to the pulleys there. We need to make sure it is connected up above through use of that magnet and other zip ties. We typically will only need 3 or 4 points of contact to keep it raised up. That magnet goes right in the middle there. The nice thing about the magnet is you can pull it off if you need to do a little work. I need to get that cable out of the way. So the one downside is they don't provide enough zip ties for how many places you're going to want to tie this up. So make sure you have a pack of zip ties from Home Depot or Harbor Freight. These are small, so we're going to double them up here. You want to make sure anywhere that cable's running near springs, pulleys, anything like that, that it is clear out of the way. You don't want that to get caught in any springs or rub against any pulleys, any belts. So here we've got the cable coming down, running along the frame, and then going under and around. A pair of flush cutters would be better than a pair of scissors, but you know, sometimes you gotta improvise. We've got the magnet in the middle there holding the cable. And now we'll do another zip tie over here just to keep this away from that chain that moves and away from this spring that it's going over. Fully installed.
So typically you'll drive with it fully open, cutting through fields and stuff like that. You start to get around flower beds, sidewalks, driveways, whatever.
Just
close it. You want to discharge a little bit, but you don't want it to shoot too far. You can just feather it a little bit, keep it there, whatever. Fully open, fully closed. You just give a little firm press on it, starts to open, the spring will grab it. Same thing to close it.
Just like that. Okay, so with the grass flap installed, there are two things that could be a little bit better. The first, having a couple more zip ties that come with the kit. I think it comes with 2 or 3.
They do give you the little cable holders, but you have to drill into
The
frame in order to mount those. So if you don't want to drill into the frame, you're better off with zip ties.
Yeah, especially when you have a thick frame like this. I would rather see more zip ties than those little components, which wouldn't add to the cost at all. The other thing that I don't like is this spring right here pushes against that bolt when this is opening. It's hard to see in the video, but it's a pretty good rub there. And I could see over time that spring wearing out and breaking right at that rub point. I'm not sure what the easy fix for that would be. Maybe a spring with a longer hook so that the bulk of it is back further. There is a little play there that we could take off, so maybe we could even add a ring here and bump this spring back a little bit so it doesn't rub. Aside from that, I really like it. And I haven't even used it yet.